So today is the 27th of April in the year 2025, and you are, I don't know where, I am in France. So I would like to begin by looking at the 7th of the 14 mindfulness trainings. Aware that life is available only in the present moment, we are committed to training ourselves to live deeply each moment of daily life. So we can recognize in this very first sentence of the 14 mindfulness trainings that we have to train ourselves. We just don't naturally live deeply each moment of daily life. And that is probably because those seeds have not been handed down to us by our ancestors, and also because in our own life we have not been encouraged to live deeply each moment of our daily life. And not only have we not been encouraged to do that, but we haven't had the tools, we haven't had the means to be able to do that. So now that we have met the practice, we have the means to live deeply each moment of our daily life. And that isn't just when we are practicing sitting meditation, walking meditation, and so on. The first thing that we have been given is the gathas, the little verses that we have, which can accompany many of our daily activities. So whenever you enter some room and you take off your shoes, you have a little verse to practice. Leaving my shoes neatly, I vow that all people have two mindful feet coming in and going out in freedom. So when you practice a gatha like that, leaving your shoes tidily, neatly, you can come back to your breathing. As you breathe in, you say, leaving my shoes neatly. You really do it, you don't just say it. And then as you breathe out, I vow that all people. And then as you breathe in, have two mindful feet coming in and going out in freedom. So as far as you are concerned, you are one of all people, and you want yourself to be able to enter the room or to leave the room as a free person. I think that one calligraphy that Joam gave the Sangha in Hong Kong is, or at least Joam wrote when he was in Hong Kong, is the calligraphy, don't run, you look silly. So I think many of us, we are running. And we need to find a way to stop running, and that is meaning we come back to our breath. We breathe in, and as we walk, we also have another gatha, another verse. Walking on the earth, I realize a miracle. Each mindful step reveals the wonderful Dharmakaya. So wherever you are, now you already want everyone and yourself to have two feet that can come in and go out in freedom. So now you are really connected with your feet. You can really feel the earth, the floor under your feet, and you recognize, as Master Lichi has taught, that to be able to walk is a miracle. To be alive is a miracle, and to be able to walk is another miracle. So we can perform many miracles every day with mindfulness. And every mindful step reveals the Dharmakaya. The Dharmakaya is all the wonders of life. We really need those wonders of life in order to nourish ourselves, to be aware of the wonders of life, to nourish ourselves, aware that life is available only in the present moment. And life is a miracle. If you are a scientist, you know that life is a miracle. But if you're not a scientist, you also know that. If you want to look at how life has started on this planet, you will find that there's no beginning to life and no end. So really we encourage ourselves to look again at the gathas, for the verses for our daily practice, so that we can use them in order to be able to train ourselves to stop and live deeply, because each verse will give us the key to looking more deeply at the daily activities we do again and again, and they often become things we do on automatic pilot, and we are thinking about everything else except what we are actually doing. So the second sentence is, we shall try not to lose ourselves in dispersion, be carried away by regrets about the past, worries about the future, or craving, anger, or jealousy in the present. So this is again to be able to walk mindfully, to be able to use the gathas, and to be able to breathe mindfully, are all things that can stop us going back into the past or going forward into the future. If you like, you can start by limiting yourself to not allowed to think about anything except what's going to happen in 1 hour. Or then you can cut it down to half an hour. And then you can cut it down to 5 minutes. And until you train yourself to stay in the present moment. When we are angry, when we are jealous, when we have strong desire, craving, it is true that we will be in the present moment with that particular mental formation. But we lose ourselves in that mental formation. And we are not able to see clearly the reality of what is happening in the present moment. So we need to find ways in order to be able to take care of ourselves and take care of our emotion. And the best way is to be able to go outside and walk mindfully in, I don't know, in Hong Kong, in nature. I don't know if that's possible. There must be blue sky, there must be, some place, but you need to recognize that you are being carried away by a strong emotion, and you need to do something about it as soon as possible. We will practice mindful breathing to be aware of what is happening in the here and now. So we have all learnt the discourse on the full awareness of breathing, the Anapanasati Sutta. And we can, in our sitting meditation, we can easily practice mindful breathing, but it's not enough. We have to learn to practice mindful breathing at all moments of the day. And our mindful breathing will clear our mind so that we are able to be aware of what is happening in us and around us. We have the first breathing is, I know I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing out. And we have the second breathing, which is, I know the length of my in-breath and the length of my out-breath. So if my in-breath is long, I know that it is long. If it is short, I know that it is short. And I stay with the whole length of my in-breath. I don't allow my mind to go off in another subject other than my in-breath and then my out-breath. And there is a very good guided meditation which you can practice throughout the day, which is aware of my in-breath, I breathe in. Aware my in-breath is no longer there, I breathe out. So, and then aware of the birth of my in-breath, aware of the death of my in-breath. So these guided meditations we can do fully when we are practicing sitting meditation, and we can take a part of them to practice during the day. In the past they used to have koan, kom anna, public cases, or hua tuha, thoại đạo, I don't know, yeah, thoại đạo, beginning, the head of the conversation, conversation head. So they had these things to carry around with them all day, the meditation practitioners, but in our own time, these koans like why did Bodhidharma come from the West, and who is reciting the name of the Buddha? These koans, they may not have much to do with our daily problems. So we need to be able to practice, have our breathing with us the whole day long. And we can use things like aware of my in-breath, aware my in-breath is not there, in order to take us maybe to a deeper level of understanding. Things arise when the causes and conditions are correct, and when the causes and conditions are enough, and they cease when the causes and conditions are no longer there. We are determined to learn the art of mindful living by touching the wondrous, refreshing, and healing elements that are inside and around us in all situations. So the important word here is in all situations. We don't wait until it's a fine day and everything is going right in order to be in touch with what is wonderful in life. We recognize even when things are very difficult, we still have to touch the wondrous, refreshing, and healing elements that are inside and around us. Because otherwise we do not have the nourishment, we do not have the strength to deal with the difficult situation. So I think when we wake up in the morning and we see that we are alive, we are still breathing, we know that life is there around us and in us, we can already join our palms and feel very grateful. And then when you have to walk outside and you have to walk to the bus, or really to come back to your steps, your breathing, and make the journey, the trajet between your apartment and the bus stop or the train stop, to make that your walking meditation path. And every day when you go on that particular stretch, or it could be from your house to your garage, or from the parking place to your office, you have to find some stretch that you do every day or most days in order to be able to make that your walking meditation path, even though it's not got beautiful flowers. And when you are walking mindfully like that, you are really in touch with the earth, you are in touch with the air around you. Then you are finding a source of refreshment and healing in yourself. To be nourished is to be healed. And it is not just a matter of telling us, I am so happy, I have 2 eyes. It's not a matter of repeating like that. We have to be able really to feel the happiness of having 2 eyes that are able to see. And if you cannot do that straight away, you keep training yourself until you are able to, every time you remind yourself that you have 2 eyes, you have 2 ears that can hear, you'll be able to feel happy. It is a training. We are not used to doing it. We need to get used to it. In this way, we will be able to cultivate seeds of joy, peace, love, and understanding in ourselves, thus facilitating the work of transformation and healing in our consciousness. So the first step is to cultivate these seeds in ourselves. Before we can share them with other people, we have to cultivate them in ourselves. So if they are not very strong and they do not come up very easily from our stored consciousness, we need to train more before we spend a lot of time with people who we find difficult. Because if we are not really fresh, if we are not really present, then we spend time with somebody who is also not fresh and present. We just pull each other down. We don't help each other to come up. So somehow, if you're in a difficult situation with your father or anyone else, and you just water each other's negative seeds, you have to devote much more of your time to touching the seeds of cultivating the seeds of joy, peace, and love in yourself. And then when you feel really that those seeds are well watered, well nourished, and you feel nourished yourself, then you can spend more time with someone who is difficult, and maybe you can actually, by your own presence, you help that person be less difficult. And transformation and healing has to take place in our stored consciousness. But we use our mind consciousness, we use our eyes, our ears, and our mind, our thinking, in order to be able to strengthen the seeds that lie in our store consciousness. And when those seeds that lie in our store consciousness are strong, the seeds of joy and peace, then they will manifest more easily in our mind consciousness. We are aware that real happiness depends primarily on our mental attitude and not on external conditions. So generally, as human beings, we always think that we need things outside of ourselves to make us happy. We forget that it is actually our own mind that can produce the happiness or not. We can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that we already have more than enough conditions to be happy. So simply by remembering means being mindful of the conditions that we have. And those things are not anything we can buy in the market, not something that somebody else gives to us. They are things that we already have, and we already mentioned our eyes, our ears that can hear, our legs that can walk, our loved ones who are still there. And that is also important, that our loved ones are like us, are impermanent, and they won't always be there. So every day to remind ourselves that I am of the everything I love, everything I cherish is of the nature to change, is impermanent. I cannot escape being separated from them. To remind us, I cannot escape being separated from my loved ones. And when we remind ourselves like that, we are less likely to hold on to resentment and anger against them. So that is the seventh mindfulness training of the 14. I will read it, the whole thing. Aware that life is available only in the present moment, we are committed to training ourselves to live deeply each moment of daily life. We shall try not to lose ourselves in dispersion or be carried away by regrets about the past, worries about the future, or craving, anger, or jealousy in the present. We will practice mindful breathing to be aware of what is happening in the here and now. We are determined to learn the art of mindful living by touching the wondrous, refreshing, and healing elements that are inside and around us in all situations. In this way, we shall be able to cultivate seeds of joy, peace, love, and understanding in ourselves, thus facilitating the work of transformation and healing in our consciousness. We are aware that real happiness depends primarily on our mental attitude and not on external conditions, and that we can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that we already have more than enough conditions to be happy.